So it may be 8:45 in the morning, but have you thought about what you're going to have for lunch today? Well, how about a little pizza?
You know, Americans consume about 3 billion pizzas annually. That's, as Al will tell you, 350 slices a second. But as Today correspondent Jenna Wolf discovered, not all pizzas created equal. Jenna, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you guys? I'm thinking if we're consuming 350 slices a second, perhaps pizza's not our biggest problem. Yes, we are talking pizza this morning. Some cities boast that they've got the best pizza, cities like Phoenix and Chicago, Manhattan. Well, we met a guy named Tony from here in Brooklyn who's on a mission to spread the word about what really is the best pizza. This is Brooklyn's best sights, sounds, and yes, slices of pizza.
Come back to Brooklyn.
Mention Brooklyn to someone and you may get the famous bridge, the famous team, or the famous attitude.
So we're not going to get to see the whole thing, Tone, but welcome, my man Tony.
Thanks for having me.
Tony Muia.
Thank you.
We were worried. We were worried. You know, I know Italians. They like everything to be.
Listen, you can't
how you doing?
How you doing?
That's it. So I was like, yo, I want to get it right. You said, what'd you tell me?
Rhymes with booyah.
So that's not a stretch for us. We were like, booyah.
That's it.
Welcome, man.
Thanks
Listen,
for having me, man. It's an honor.
People, they might think we're having a hoot, but you came all the way. Literally today, I picked you up at 3:30.
Yep.
Straight from Brooklyn.
Had some great pizza
To do this.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
We went to Vito's Pizza. We went to Slim Jim's favorite.
That's
He's the
a
one who
real
actually
deal.
put me onto that. So I figured,
And it was up to par.
you know what's weird, because I have friends that come from Japan a lot, and a lot of people try to take those same friends to sushi, and I'm like, bro, they just got off the flight. Get them a hamburger. So I wanted to get you. I was going to take them to the Apple Pan at first. I'm like, let me get them a proper hamburger.
No.
But I thought, you know what? Let me get a thumbs up or thumbs down, because for my dollar, New York pizza wise, even though dude's from New Jersey that owns Vito's,
right?
That's the most.
Oh no, he's from the boot originally.
No. I went. The guy told us today.
Yeah.
Want to bet on that too? What do we got going, man? I'm gonna start making book out of here, bro.
Hey, that's what he told me. He said he's from the boot. Came
he
to Elizabeth,
lied
New Jersey.
to you, bro. No, I mean, he could have been from.
He's from the boot.
All right, so he's from Italy. Then he's by way of what do you tell us? What did they tell us today? Elizabeth,
New Jersey.
Elizabeth, New Jersey. Yeah. It's a real deal.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And a side note:
Yep.
the oldest pub in Manhattan. Which do you think it is?
Get the hell out of here! I'm not getting in the middle of
Tommaso's.
that. You just said Old Town. We know why you said Old Town.
No, that's what I was told. But listen, before Old Town, I didn't
tell
say
you anything to film a video there.
Listen, no. What I was told was Landmark Tavern was one of the oldest, and I think T.J. English is the one who told me that and put me onto that. I think McSorley's is old, but I don't know if it's that. And my experience with McSorley's, and we'll let it go, but it was more of I don't know, it just had a Hooters feel to me of Irish pubs.
Hooters
You're crazy.
Of Irish pubs. How am I crazy?
He must have been.
I'm just telling you,
He must have
bro.
had a little too many that night.
Wow.
Listen,
Crazy.
I'm
He
telling
just dissed
you.
you and dismissed you.
That's
Oh,
no, it's
wow.
like it's not. He don't own the pub. What do what?
Yeah.
You what? You don't own nothing.
You want me to flip this table? I'll show you.
Yo, bro, he shit. It's his namesake. He don't own nothing.
No.
Listen,
Most of us don't know nothing.
Yeah. We just borrow it.
Yeah.
I'm just
We don't
telling
own
you.
it.
You're
But
Queens
that's the
guy,
place,
though,
man.
So you
And
can't be
That's
trusted
right.
anyway.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh boy.
Staten Island, barely even New York City.
Yo, I'm born in Brooklyn, bro. I don't know what you.
That's it. What Maimonides?
Oh, that's it.
I have no clue what any of you guys are talking about.
Anyway, so listen.
We need subtitles today on the thing on the
I know.
crawler.
Yeah, when the New York guys get together.
Meanwhile, I dissed Anthony Bourdain, his favorite guy, and
Why?
I like Anthony, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because, and this is rich coming from us, but coming from me especially. When I watch, I love what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think he set the bar for that kind of a show. But I don't like guys who have an elitist New York attitude and they're from Jersey.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like they're hiding the fact that they're from Jersey. So in front, they'll do a whole episode. Oh, I admit it, I'm from Jersey. And I know a lot of dudes that say they're from New York and they're from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, I was born in Jersey. And, no disrespect to John Z. I know he's not lumping him in, but he's a Jersey kid that runs New York like that. The King Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys is from New Jersey originally. That doesn't mean you're not an official New Yorker. It's not my point. But I notice a lot of times when people are very elitist about it, then they're from Poughkeepsie or they're from
Rochester.
Yeah, they're from somewhere else, and then they adopt the city, and they don't want. That's where the buck stops. In other words, they want to be the last dude in the door, and then they lock that door, and everybody else is beneath them. New York wise. So when I watch Anthony Bourdain, he's always half in the bag drunk, his eyes are all glassed out, and he's always on some like, how, you know what I mean? And so it gets a little, but
The cooking show guy?
What?
The cooking show guy?
The cooking show guy.
Well, New York has an appeal, you know what I mean? So people, you know, they gravitate to New York, or Manhattan, I should say, or New York in general, you know? I don't know, I'm a Brooklynite, you know, I never left, so to me it's, you know, that's why I do what I do, but, you know, New York has an attraction for people, and it ends up becoming, you know.
I mean, I've been here longer than I've been anywhere else. I've been here, you know, we've talked, and you know the whole, and that's why he's throwing that Staten Island in my face, which after the thing, that's all right, I'm going to see him in the parking lot.
How do you get to Staten Island, by the way?
The Guinea Gangplank. That's the first thing my mother told me, that's the Guinea Gangplank right there.
Yeah.
But, you know, but the point is that, yeah, of course, when we go back, I mean, we pride ourselves. I would consider myself, I've been here since I'm 6. I'm a New Yorker. I don't care what nobody, you know what I mean? I live in New York. I've been, you know, I've been a B-boy since hip-hop was invented. Like my whole steez is New York. I love L.A. And through the Delta Bravo thing and the Hellfire thing we had talked about before, riding the motorcycles around, for the first time in all these years, I got to see a different part of Los Angeles and California in general. It's God's country out here. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world except for California. But New York is my, you know what I mean? It's where it's where I'm from. I consider myself a New Yorker, you know what I mean? And that's where everything always goes, you know, my roots are there and it always goes back to that.
Oh, we'll let you back in every time you come back.
No doubt. And if not, we'll pay $20 to ride the tour. No, it's $75. How much is to ride the tour?
No, the tour is $80 per person.
Yay, it went up.
Yeah. Just went up now for you.
Tell us the name of the tour again.
You're out of the band.
It's a Slice of Brooklyn. Well, the company's called the Slice of Brooklyn Bus Tours. We do tours of Brooklyn's foods, neighborhoods, landmarks, movie locations. So the tour they did was the pizza tour. That's the one that's been on the Today Show, the Travel Channel. It's been voted the #1 tour of Brooklyn on TripAdvisor for 2 years
and
in a row.
I agree.
Oh, wow.
And you agree.
But
Thank
yet,
you.
I mean, I
Thanks.
thought it was just a pizza tour, but it was so much more. I mean, that was, you know, no
Like
pun
what?
intended, it was just a slice of it. But I learned, I mean, as a New Yorker since 2003, I came out here, I learned a boatload from you. So,
I appreciate
I mean,
that.
that I didn't know. So, I mean, that's huge for.
You intended that pun, by the way.
No, but
It's a good one.
It was great. I mean,
appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
I saw a lot in
you
Bay
know, I
Ridge.
mean, that's what happened. I mean, we were invited for those who don't know. I mean, when me, especially me and Nako, we go back, or any New Yorker goes back, you know where to go. We're not from out of town in the sense of we know what pizza's good. You've got your favorites. So when Mona told us, hey, yeah, we're going to go on a pizza tour, I was like, okay, cool, I'm down. I'll play ball.
Right.
But I've been to the pizza, all the spots that I would have figured if we're in Brooklyn, we know them all. You know what I mean? So, okay, cool, we're going to go get a pizza tour. But when we went on the tour, we went on this tour bus. We went on, and if you want to show some of the photos that are from the pizza file, the last one we just dropped on you, those are some of your photos, actually. And those photos, it's so much more than pizza. I mean, you have a Prevost tour bus that we went on, or a Prevost style of tour bus, like an official, like, you know, it's like being
With
on the
a
Guns N'
working
Roses
toilet?
tour bus.
Yeah.
With a working toilet.
That's huge.
Hey, that's huge, bro. Every time we go around the corner, the toilet seat slammed down, sound like a gunshot. And he's always like, yo, nobody got shot back there. But it's more than, and to explain to people who don't know, so when you get on the tour bus, you're thinking you're going to go get a slice of pizza and see a few pizza spots in Brooklyn. But no. You took it. We went through every neighborhood. For instance, if we were in the Dumbo area, we stopped off, we went under the bridge. You discussed the history of it, when it was built.
Movie locations?
Yeah, but as we get back on the bus, we drive through a neighborhood, he'll say, hey, this happened here, and he'll show like a scent of a woman when they're driving through the Ferrari downtown, and how much it's changed. But while you're on those streets, the plasma screens on the bus are playing those scenes. So you're like, it's like a Delta Bravo mission in 3D.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that's why we were like, wow, like he's doing what
I couldn't wait to get you guys on just for that. I mean, to me, and we timed it. I gotta admit, that day was really spot on when we did the French Connection scene, and we turned under the L and
we
stuff.
were right on there.
Yeah.
That was the movie that started it all for me, how I got into this whole thing.
It's your favorite movie, right?
It's my #1,
Yeah.
so
Amazing,
I was looking
amazing
forward to
film.
that.
Such a good flick.
Well, for me, I spent 20 years in healthcare. I was a respiratory therapist. I took care of trach patients on ventilators for 20 years. And I got to travel a lot in the 90s. I worked at St. Vincent's, 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week. So I had a lot of time off to travel throughout the 90s. Everywhere I went, I noticed one thing. is that everyone's fascinated with Brooklyn, or as our buddy Caves. I have like a long out of print Lords of Brooklyn shirt that I found on eBay. I told him about. On the back, it says it all. It says Brooklyn, respected by all. And that's what you see when you go around the world. You realize that people are fascinated with Brooklyn. When people ask me in interviews, they say, what do you think people want to come and do tours? Brooklyn's always been a part of people's consciousness, if you think about it, whether it's been a movie, a book, a song, an actor, whatever.
Sure.
I mean, even in the 40s when you had all those war flicks, there was always the funny Italian guy from Brooklyn. He always ended up getting shot and killed, but, you know, he was like he was the comic relief, you know? But the thing is, to me, I realized, okay, people were nice enough to show me around in their country, so I just reciprocated. What I do is what a lot of people do. If you love where you're from and you're proud of where you're from and you know it's history and you want to tell it the right way, God knows I'm doing tours of Brooklyn while the history of Brooklyn is disappearing before our eyes, or people are coming in and morphing what they want the history of Brooklyn to be, like the Barclays Center coming in and thinking they can stake a claim, you know, that they're part of the history of Brooklyn. No, you happen to build, you know, railroad structure steps away from where the Dodgers should have built their stadiums, right. But don't tell us you're a part of history. So that kind of pisses me off, stuff like that. So my goal was that I would take people around, people that would show me around their countries when I went to visit, and we'd show them around. What do you do when you come to Brooklyn? You eat pizza. I'd show them where the movies were filmed, show them where we hung out, the Brooklyn Bridge, Park, Coney Island. And then I had no idea what to do after about 20 years in healthcare. And one of my buddies said to me, he goes, what do you mean you don't know what to do? It was my buddy Pete Oster. We were hanging out, I'll never forget, and he said, what do you mean you don't know what to do? He goes, dude, you're always showing people around. You're like this ambassador of Brooklyn. Do it, you know? And I thought, well, I don't really like tours, but if we had a nice bus, and, well, maybe if we had screens, and we could show the clips on the screen so people know exactly where they were, and that was the genesis of this pizza tour, you know? And
what year did that kick off?
That was 2005. And in 2005, I basically was still seeing patients in order to rent the buses. And I'd work on weekends and do tours on Fridays and Mondays because we did studies, and that's when the tourists are in town. Did that for 2 years. And in 2007, the Today Show had me on, and that just blew it through the roof. And then it became my full-time job. I mean, at that point, the Today Show was the #1 morning show. It aired about, I think it was 8:45 on a Wednesday in October. And they said like 5 million people watched it. And that day, just ticket sales were through the roof. And I gave healthcare a goodbye, and that was it. And it became my full-time job, you know, and then kept doing it. And after that, we got busier, and then my cousin Paula came on, and she's helping out doing tours, and other family members, and then we got other tour guides from the area, like Bruce and Angela, husband and wife team from Dyker Heights. They help out with our Christmas lights tour. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to come right back. I want to talk to you about who makes the best pie.
I love the music.
What the difference? Yeah, well, that's no accident, my friend.
I still get ready to go out to this music.
See? And you said she touched your hair. You worked all night on it.
And she hits it.
And, you know, we're going to talk all things pizza when you come back. I want to find out who got the best slice in Brooklyn, or we're going to go back and forth on, you know, what's good. And
Nako give us a little dance.
Yeah, well,
please chime in.
We're gonna get some people to, you know, call in, and then we're gonna take a few questions for you. All right, we'll be right back.
I'll calm you guys down.
It's good for the viewers. They don't want to see us fucking.
I'm teasing.
Whoa. Break them up.
Back in your quarters, guys.
Yo, bro.
Back in your quarters.
I try to tell them that pub ain't the oldest. You looked it up. Who?
Tell them who it is.
I just want to know, where can I get my money?
In New York, the oldest bar is Francis Tavern.
All right, so that doesn't sound like McSorley's is the oldest there. That would be
Or Old Town.
Or Old Town.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah.
But the debate is
my
when they
point was,
closed.
who was the oldest pub? And you said McSorley's,
yeah,
bro.
it is.
And I
See
say,
how ugly it
niet
gets.
suka
Oh, he's getting
You know
on
what
the
I'm
unicycle.
thinking?
Hold on,
Nako?
beep.
He's getting on the cycle.
He's back in his truck.
He likes a
Look at
unicycle
it.
because
Here
he can
it
go
is.
forward and backward on that bitch.
Listen.
Yes.
That was funny.
Boom.
Man. That was
Hey.
anyway,
Oh, I like that.
you're paying for dinner, bro.
The
Let's
Irish
keep
pub.
it
Oh,
100.
yes.
Wait.
dinner on knock.
The Irish pub show is in a couple of weeks. The pizza tour. And
It's tonight.
Brooklyn
That's
is tonight.
true.
Let's
And
get
you
back
know
to on
what?
topic, my man.
McSorley's, anything McSorley's is usually Hooters related, so it's like.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave that one go.
He lost his bona fides.
I got video.
New York hard revoked.
All right, so listen, you know, you've talked about what you do, but pizza, it's a staple. And
Yeah.
she said something very interesting, because California, we don't have a pizza culture.
we don't have pizza culture.
That's sad.
We might have a taco culture
sad.
that you don't have in New York, but you do have a pizza culture, because when I talk to Caves,
Listen.
me and him, we go to the, what is it, Pizza Wagon?
Pizza Wagon in Bay
I told him
Ridge.
today, I'm like, what's up with the wagon wheel? He's like, wagon wheel? I go, the the pizza wagon, and
What's
he's like,
that?
yeah, it's a good pizza. It's like Vito's.
So Pizza Wagon, growing up in Brooklyn, in New York City in general, but I just, as far as Brooklyn is concerned, we all grew up with our favorite, what I call the walk up to the window slice joints,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In Bensonhurst, within a matter of blocks, you had who loved J&V on 64th and 18th, which I did, but who loved Da Vinci's a few blocks away on 18th. In Bay Ridge, it was Pizza Wagon. I mean, we grew up. So
What
it
about
was
Nino's?
Nino's
You
grandma
like the
slice.
grandmas?
Oh, forget about it.
Yo.
Do I love the
I knew you
grandma
liked
slice?
those, so I
Forget
brought you
about
some
it.
of this because I know.
What?
Because when you have a Nino's, you need for people at home you don't know, they
No
need the
clue.
brioche.
Agita.
They get the agita.
Agita.
I brought that
seen-
for Donna.
I haven't
'cause
seen this in years.
That's it. So
Caves
that's-
is Donna?
Yeah, Caves is Donna. I told her about the brioche.
I
You
haven't
can't
seen
smoke
this
it
in
though.
years.
You gotta. Anyway, Google that.
We used to raid
Seriously.
this. This used to be in the cabinets when
That's
we were
it.
kids.
You
We were
get
like,
the
what is
agita.
this stuff?
The what?
Caves used to tell me that if he drank, if you ate
Put it on.
if you ate the squares, the grandmamas, he goes,
Yeah.
I like them, but they
Give
repeat.
agita.
They told me they repeat, which is even better. I was like, repeat. He goes, yeah, the agita.
Yeah,
I'm
the
like, yo, I gotta get
That's
the brioche.
Harvard?
Yeah.
Acid reflux.
So he
yeah.
got the
They repeat.
we got the brioche. He's the one who holds the gilly when the parade comes around.
No,
when the feast
get out of
comes.
here.
I found
Giglio.
I found brioche out here, and I gave it to him. I went to Italian specialty store, so he was like, "Oh, where'd you find this?"
We got
And
a
then,
lot, hey, I got a lot of miles out of this. I just didn't know you weren't supposed to eat it raw. I was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
chewing
that's what we
it
used to do as kids. We used to eat it
That's it.
raw and be like, what is
Yeah,
this?
It's like
But it worked,
popcorn.
though. It works,
works
right?
great.
Well, you
yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
candy?
Yeah, well, we were raiding
Yeah,
that.
it looks
Yeah, you
like-
just find
yeah,
it.
it
It looks
looks
like
like-
little...
eat it.
Like
yeah.
Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you carry the Giglio growing up?
Please.
Come on.
I have sciatica.
The Giglio is, I did an
Did you
Our Lady
really
of
do
Mount,
it?
Our
Yeah,
Lady
of
of Mount
course.
Carmel in
Our Lady-
Brooklyn.
Every time he carried, money would missing off the Giglio, bro. It was like $50 light. It was like-
Tips. Hey, Mary has enough.
Yeah.
What
That's it.
about?
He put
We need money
tips.
for pizza later.
When Brooklyn touches the sky in July, that's what they say about it. That Giglio is, what, 150 feet tall or something
Oh,
like
my
that?
God,
With an
yeah.
entire orchestra playing, and then about 150 guys, maybe, I don't know, holding it
Yeah,
up.
on the hottest day in the summer.
And they're like steel beams. You guys are like,
Yeah.
you really carry
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, what do you think?
For how
Throwing
long?
it in?
For how long?
A
5
couple
hours.
summers.
No, I mean, did you take it
Oh,
the whole?
you had
the
to.
whole night?
Yeah,
You
they
can't
weren't
give
playing.
out on that?
You can't bow out.
No.
And there's guys.
Sometimes you
there's
can't
guys
even
go
get
to
out.
hell.
There's like guys that are like, no necks, like this kind.
Yeah, if you try to bow out, you go to hell off that right away, bro.
Yeah.
You never
You know
don't
how many
come back to church.
You know how many confessions and active
How many
contritions you
Hail
got to
Marys
do?
you gotta do for that.
Forget about it.
So listen, the pizza wheel I like,
Yeah.
and you know what it reminds me
Pizza
when I was.
wagon.
That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure you're listening.
This guy's got no credibility
That's
tonight,
what I said.
none whatsoever.
Hey, don't worry. We're gonna fix it in
Publish
post.
Sherman
Then
out.
fix it in post, bro. You're gonna be speaking Chinese when I'm done with you. Listen, when we go to Queens, when we come off the JFK,
Yeah.
the first thing we go New Park
New
Pizza.
Park Pizza, yeah.
And New Park is like Pizza Wagon,
Yeah, I heard things.
which is like Vito's here. It's
Yeah.
just good
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
It's just good pizza.
Yep.
It's not artistry. It's not fucking.
It's blue collar.
It's just standard good pizza, right?
Yeah.
Have you never been to New Park?
No, never been to.
Oh,
New
you
Park.
pride yourself on that, huh?
Well, it's Queens. So why would I be there? Why would I have gone there?
That's it. Put him in the
Really?
bedroom.
That's it. You're out of the band.
You're out of the band.
Sorry, you got to go.
So so Brooklyn wise, we have different pizzas.
Yeah.
And which is out of all the pizzas, which is your
Out of all the pizzas,
the number one,
no doubt, L&B Spumoni Garden Square.
the square.
Oh yeah.
And for people who don't know, you pull up some L&B photos in the files right there. I want to show people because you know what? I don't like the squares as much as I like a regular round pizza. But in the whole planet, when I did go to L&B, is the only spot I like with the squares.
Oh, yeah.
The corner, you got to get a corner. I always
Always a
tell
corner
people.
Oh my God! Are you
Always a
kidding
corner.
me right now?
And you know
Stuff
what?
is
The
amazing.
photos don't even do it justice
Nope.
because
Nope.
there's something. How do they do? So tell them how they do the dough.
So what happens is the dough, first of all, it's this amazing recipe they use for the dough, and then they allow the dough to rise twice before they even put it in the oven. So it rises once, they punch it down, do it again. And I've been there in the morning at like 7:30 in the morning, and it's nothing but like dough all over the place. And then they put them in these long black pans. I mean, the whole pie is 24 slices. But what they do is they put the dough in the pan first, and the mozzarella goes over the dough next, and then the sauce goes over the mozzarella. The sauce is